Hey everybody, thanks for coming out to the Retronauts panel for PRGE 2019. I'm one of your hosts for tonight, Bob Mackey, and over here, who is here?
It's Jeremy Parish, also here.
That's right, and you guys stayed up till 9 p.m. Nothing should go past 7 p.m. at a retro gaming convention.
We're all old and want to be in bed.
It's true, so yes, you're the true retro heads, and my opinion is that our opinions are too dangerous to broadcast before 9 p.m. So yeah, who was here for last year's panel? Okay, well this is going to be similar. So last year I went through the history of full motion video games to show people how they evolved over time. It was a real learning process, but because it's 9 p.m., some of you look drunk. I think most of you are. We're just going to watch a bunch of fun, dumb clips of celebrities embarrassing themselves at the lowest points of their career. I think that sounds fun to me. There will be no learning involved. In fact, you should forget everything that you see tonight.
I would argue that this panel here is the lowest point of their career.
Ooh, that's true. Two dorks get to make fun of these acclaimed Oscar winners.
I have so much money and acclaim. I'm William Shatner.
The important thing is, I don't think anyone in this clip package is dead yet.
Wow.
So we're getting in under the wire on some of them.
All fair game.
Oh yeah, we don't have a death jingle for Retronauts, unfortunately, because the button would wear out on our podcast. So I wanted to go over a few things first, and basically, there were celebrities in video games before they could be captured looking very bored in a blue screen room. And I have a few examples of those I want to start off the show with. So the first is very appropriate for the Halloween season, and I saw someone on Twitter describe it as the first jump scare in a video game. And that actually comes in the video game Madden, the first Madden game. So the title screen, I just want to show a few examples of celebrity appearances before full motion video. So here is John Madden. I'm not sure how loud this will be, so I apologize in advance. Ooh. Here he comes. Here he comes. So that was the Mr. X of its stage.
Is that music actually in the game, or did you add that?
No, that music's in the game.
They were really like John Madden is Jaws.
He's a large sea creature.
He unhinge his jaws to eat a whole turducken.
It's true. I mean, you smell him coming before you hear him coming. But yeah, that's just one of the examples. So as graphics improve, you can see the likenesses of these people get better before they can actually just film them. And the other example I have is another stupid one, and that is the Journey video game, which I talked about on an episode of Retronauts a while ago. We talked about celebrity video games, and this was a very early example of, I guess, face capture technology. And wasn't Ralph Baer a real prickly pear about this, Jeremy, when it came to the Game Boy camera?
A real prickly pear about? Yes, this was one of the things that prickled his pear.
That's true. His pear was prickled, and he is dead, so we're already making some people roll over in the grave. But here is Journey. Again, really, really annoying sound effects. I apologize in advance, but this is what was done before we could actually capture people.
Doesn't this game have Don't Stop Believin' in it?
Oh, we're going to hear it.
How can you call that an annoying sound?
Well, when you hear how it's captured,
all right,
you'll understand. So they have a spaceship. Okay, cut it off there. That looks like I made a game to make fun of Journey.
it really seems like South Park's idea of what a video game is.
That's true. They have like weird photorealistic David Hasselhoff heads.
Yeah, exactly.
In that, but I mean,
my favorite part of the concert was always when Steve Perry started shooting at the audience.
Shooting at the crowd. Well,
So
I mean,
good.
the game has an oddly anti-groupie stance, which I feel like Journey, in their best interest, should be pro-groupie.
I think not. Steve Perry was a family man. He talked about how hard it is to be on the road. It's like a circus life, man.
Interesting.
Under the big top. Never mind.
I never studied their poetry, but so yeah, those are two examples of pre-video celebrity appearances. But now we're moving into the world of video. Well, these are sort of more like animated GIFs. But finally, '94 brings us to Revolution X and Aerosmith. So we're going to see all of the members of Aerosmith acting in this clip. Steven Tyler is the best actor. You'll notice that the other members of Aerosmith each get maybe 4 words to say, But Steven Tyler says a lot more, but if you'll notice, there's a cut after like every 4 words of his speech he gives. So it's clear that he can only memorize so many things at once. But
he was like the original video game YouTuber.
That's true.
Just rapid cuts every 3 words.
What's up, everybody? It's Steven Tyler. But he's coming up next.
If you're watching this, then they've taken over. It's up to you now. Find our car and stop the new order. Remember, music is a weapon.
So, I don't know if it was the technology at the time that could only capture so much Steven Tyler at once, but if
That's all technology, man. He's a lot.
He's a lot to take in, but when you see the amount of acting his other band members did, I really honestly think he can only say 4 words at once. And I love hearing, like, where's Aerosmith from? Does anyone know? Boston? Okay, you can really hear their Boston accents in these clips. So these are all hilarious, and I have these baked into my brain for whatever reason because I played this game too much as a kid. So here's the rest of Aerosmith performing at their best.
These guys are maggots. They're putting chemicals in all our food.
Stop the new order bus.
Destroying Chemitech. It's a front for the new order.
So that was Aerosmith. Who was the best actor amongst those, the non-Tylers on that game?
I think it was the drumsticks.
The drumsticks.
They were very wooden, but in their defense, they're made of wood.
Yeah, that is true. Less wooden than anyone else in Aerosmith. So that was Aerosmith. So now we're moving into the era of actual people being captured on video. So now I've got an entire Shatner block for you guys because something was going on with William Shatner where he had to star in some video game adaptations for whatever reason. I don't know what his life was like at the time. It seems pretty bad. But Jeremy, you've recently, at least in the past few years, you've gone through all of original Star Trek. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to compare this performance, puffy, bad plastic surgery.
What year did you say this was?
The first one is 1995.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Tech War. Does anyone know about Tech War? Okay, the schools aren't teaching about it like they should, as The Simpsons said. But it was essentially Shatner's attempt to make his own brand. It combined parts of the word Star Trek and Star Wars to confuse you.
Right.
And I guess it was a 2-season syndicated TV show too. But he played some sort of marginal character within the world. And it looks like when you watch this video, it looks like he's on the set of the Tech War game show. And you'll see him react in different ways to, I guess, different possibilities within the game. But just watch how much he has to breathe. I think he's really girdled up in this. He's got a real Zap Brannigan appearance here.
Well, it looks like you're getting the hang of it. You managed to bring in Conrad Lowell and keep the obituary writers at the water cooler. Now is not the time to rest on your laurels. Get moving. Bringing in Conrad Lowell was great, but unless you want to join him, you can't keep leaving a trail of bodies behind. You need to watch where you shoot. I can't keep the cops from throwing you back in the freezer if you keep screwing up and getting innocent bystanders killed. Be more careful out there. What's it going to take? Conrad Lowell is still free and you're sitting around with no clue what to do next. Why don't you go after somebody you can handle? I saw a jaywalker down the block I think you may be able to catch.
Ooh, so I did watch a lot of these Tech War clips, and most of them are William Shatner scolding you.
Yeah, I mean, I am willing to give him a little leeway because if this was 1995, he was recently dead right after Star Trek Generations. So that's not a good way to go out. I think that was definitely affecting his mood somewhat.
I could have screwed this presentation up, but I want everyone to watch how much he breathed in at the beginning of this speech.
Well, it looks like you're getting the hang of it. You managed to bring in Conrad Lowell.
I don't know what's going on with him, but I think he thinks he can get an entire speech out of that breath. And let me move on to the next thing. So, I gave it away already, but we have 1997 Starfleet Academy. I do want to know, like, did anybody play the Tech War game in this audience? Wow, nobody. Did anyone play 1997's Starfleet Academy? Oh, one person. Okay, 2 people. You guys should talk after the show. But yes, what you're going to see in this next clip is you'll see acclaimed actors of the history and fame having to be in the same room with people that were hired to act for a CD-ROM game. Often with the production values of like the high school adaptation of Star Trek, which you're going to see right now. So Here is a scene of Shatner being very Shatnery to the point where he is Zap Brannigan in this clip.
Slim, don't be so sure. Sir! There was another attack along the Klingon neutral zone last week. I directed the search of the planet and found these fragments of the attacking vessel shooting off with the planetary defense system. A few of them show the molecular etching that the Sir discovered.
Starfleet scientists have fully examined these fragments and have concluded that the molecular etchings could not constitute the cybernetic neural network that I postulated.
Now, I didn't agree. I wanted Stewart to have another chance to prove his theory. So I persuaded Starfleet to turn the fragments over to him for the rest of the academic year.
It will take a significant amount of work to establish whether my theory has any validity.
Well, Mr. Forrester, you're his team leader.
Sturk doesn't need my permission to take on special projects.
But I do need your assistance.
Why?
I need to simulate the remainder, and your experience with Commander Chekhov might make it possible to finish before graduation.
What do you think, Captain Kirk?
I'm not here to tell you how to spend your time, Cadet Forrester. I'm here to extend a command opportunity. It's up to you whether you take it or not.
He has some sort of a weird facelift thing going on in this clip.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I do feel like this is basically him sort of inventing the whole fan genre of a Star Trek movie where a bunch of people are like, we have just enough budget to hire a known Star Trek actor and we can put it together on a YouTube set.
Except it's interplay and not
Right, yeah, like I don't know.
people raising money. But yeah, it's pretty fun to see him like I feel like all the clips I found of Shatner are just of him scolding people. So I don't know what the appeal is of that, but somebody liked it. Okay, so we have we're gonna move on to our.
Me, Daddy.
Jeez. All right. We're gonna move on to our random celeb block, and so there's one guy in this entire clip reel that really gets it, and that's Adam West. And I was surprised to see him in this because the game is not like Adam West's blank or Adam West in blank. He is in the Golden Nugget PlayStation game, the gambling game, and there is this weird like single-player scenario that's like a spy spoof movie. I mean, it's not funny and it's not good, but at least it understands it's supposed to be bad. So Adam West gets what he's in, he gets what he's making, and it's just fun to watch him do his Adam Westy thing. So here is Golden Nugget 1997 on the PlayStation.
It seems our little game within a game has come to a full halt.
Too many cooks spoil the broth, Mr. Swain.
Nevertheless, Shirako, every dog has his day.
And a fool and his money soon part. And let us never forget what chief characteristic was the demise of the poor cat.
But somehow I feel compelled to say that I myself am rubber. Or you are glue. So everything you say just bounces off.
Get up with this feeble-minded vendor! We'll let the chips fall where they may, Swain. I expect more out of you.
Oh, same old, same old. Of course. It's as plain as the nose on your stricken face. Though it may have been the farthest thought from Shirako's nefarious mind, he just gave me a suggestion of the Aerosmith. Quick, to the elevators.
I mean, it ends with a Batman sound effect, so they knew what they were
His name
making.
is Mr. Swain. Like,
Yeah.
as in Bruce.
Oh,
Swain.
okay, I just got that.
Yeah.
This is too clever for me.
Sorry, man. I do have some bad news for you, though.
He is
Adam West
dead.
Passed away a few years ago.
The important thing is we're not making fun of him.
That's true.
If you watch that clip, you can
He's the
tell
one man we can respect here.
he's the one respectable man in this entire clip package, and you can see the masterful move when he puts a cigar in his mouth and goes, "Oh, I can't cigar act; it's too hard." So he takes it out. And the guy he's in the scene with, total amateur, he is like almost cracking up saying his lines. So yeah, that's Adam West. We all love him. R.I.P. Adam West.
That guy was the golden nugget equivalent of the Roman guard who has to not crack up at biggest dickus.
Wait, which movie is this? Oh, okay. I must have missed this clip. Okay, so the next clip I have is Shelley Duvall. She's still hanging in there. Let's all pray for her. She's a hero. We must protect her. But in 1993, she was in the CDI game It's a Bird's Life, and she's in it very briefly. And you'll see how briefly she's in this game. with this next clip.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
That's all you get.
Welcome to CDI Zelda.
That is true. Only the CDI has the power to turn her into white lady clip art. That's basically it. Oh, and she narrates the story about birds. But that's not very fun to watch. So up next we have, so Giant Bob had a lot of fun with this, I believe. So Celebrity Multimedia Poker is next, starring the hottest celebrities of 1995. Not Jim Carrey, not like Sylvester Stallone or whoever else. We have number 1, Jonathan Frakes, back to Star Trek. Number 2, Morgan Fairchild of Something fame. What was he in? What was she in? Morgan Fairchild?
I have no idea.
Okay.
You're Morgan Freeman, weren't you?
No, they're very different. And then we also have Joe Piscopo. Now, Joe Piscopo in this game also of Star Trek fame.
No, we don't count him.
Okay, he taught Data how to laugh.
Yeah, we really don't count him.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's still in the canon, but we can move on from this. So in this game, it's a bad CD-ROM game with celebrities. It's a poker game, and in this game, there's a menu command where you can have Joe Piscopo tell you a joke. And if you know Joe Piscopo, you should never do that. But this video I found captured one of his jokes. It's very prescient, and it relates to current day events. So I'll play this joke. And what I want everyone to watch is how no one reacts to him, and he ends the joke just in utter shame, as he should.
All right, getting a little boring here. Let me tell you a quick joke. There's a crash, you see, plane crash. Killed in the crash, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and Vice President Gore. And
So his joke already involves the death of the entire presidential cabinet. The president and his wife are dead. That's step 1 of my joke, everybody. So let's move on.
up in heaven before the throne of God, and God looks at Bill Clinton. He goes, you know, President Clinton, for better or for worse, you were the president of one of the great societies of all time. And for that, you can sit on my right side. And then he says to Al Gore, Vice President Gore, you were the vice president of a truly great land. For that, you can sit on my left side. He looks at Hillary, and God says, what can I do for you, ma'am? And then Hillary looks at God and says, you're sitting in my seat.
Yeah, it's still more dignified than his rapping Miller Lite commercials.
Oh, okay. I guess we have to explain who Joe Piscopo is as Retronauts.
Fat Piscopo.
And I guess he was famous for being friends with Eddie Murphy at some point in his career.
I don't think he was famous for being funny.
That's true, yeah. If you think a Frank Sinatra impression is funny, so much that he polices other people's Frank Sinatra impressions, it's true. So yes, we have to move on from Joe Piscopo, but you know, both sides gets it. He's an equal opportunity offender. That's why he's funny.
I think the funniest thing about that clip was actually Morgan Fairchild's weird expressions. He, like, looked at the camera and I don't know what was going on there.
It's very awkward. So I have a surprise. So I wanted to stick to some rules for this panel, but then I decided to throw them all out the window for this next clip where someone on Twitter actually sent this to me. I was asking for celebrity clips. And we have the video game Lynx 386, so it's a 1995 golf game, with a very unlikely caddy. So I pulled a few clips from this. You're not going to believe this.
You the man. You work out a lot, huh? That's good. That's a pretty good shot.
Lucky part.
He sounds so disappointed. But I watched a 28-minute video, and he says about 5 things. And that's Bobcat Goldthwait, of course, so I don't know why. I guess he was available in 1995. So we're gonna move. Any thoughts on that, Jeremy?
No, I mean, I'm dumbfounded.
I think he even was ducking out of Police Academy movies at that point in his career. So that was a higher profile.
I gave him $100 and said say 5 things into this, you know, this little cassette recorder.
They stopped him at like a red light.
There's one of those guys who comes up and tries to clean your window. Say some stuff.
I think that's how it happened. So I have the not really games block of clips. And some of these are actually pretty fun. This first one is from the unreleased game Penn and Teller Smoke in Mirrors. And so they're having fun, they're Penn and Teller, and this game was unreleased, but now everyone knows what it is. And of course there's the Desert Bus for Hope charity, where you play the unplayable Desert Bus game for money to give to charity. But here's a little bit of their intro of them telling about the game that they thought would be released.
Now, if you know anything at all about Penn and Teller, you will know this isn't going to be your typical shoot 'em, kick 'em, jump 'em video game. So if you're, let's say, looking to goof around with short immigrant piping engineers with lots of facial hair, or some hyperactive nocturnal insectivorous mammal, or a couple of guys pounding each other's brains out. That's it. Get it. Come on, pound that sucker. Yeah, chest move. Finish him. Death move. Death move. Death move. Death move. Death move. Death move. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. The winner and still champion. I will be back to kill again. If you like any of that sort of stuff, you're playing the wrong video game.
So maybe that's what screwed him. That was the Genesis. Was it, I think, Sega CD? Yeah. So pretty cool idea for a game, but unreleased tragically. So yes, that was a fun clip. And up next we have another famously funny guy, Dennis Miller, who was actually in two CD-ROM projects. This is the most like tech related. So one of them I think was just called That's News to Me, which I think was his Weekend Update tagline for Weekend Update on SNL. And basically, it was just like a list of dates and a list of possible topics. You just select them. This isn't much different. It's basically Dennis Miller. It's basically Wikipedia that Dennis Miller makes a joke about, where you select a tech term from a list, and then Dennis Miller will give you a fun riff about it, and then an animated cartoon nerd will say, "Actually, Dennis, it's this is what it means." So here is Dennis Miller. I chose some of the funniest. This is off the cuff, people. He's just making this up. He's this funny. So here's Dennis Miller's That's Geek to Me.
Floppy. Don't get personal.
Sorry, it's kind of muffled. He said floppy, don't get personal.
A floppy disk is a flexible plastic medium used to store files from the computer.
Michi. Donamichi.
MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface, an industry standard allowing electronic musical instruments to communicate with other instruments and computers.
And we thought he could be a movie star.
So Bob, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was a product that people paid money for?
Yes. If you weren't funny and didn't know about computers, it was a good way to help yourself out.
I see. So this is like for your mom?
I guess so.
Grandma?
If you want the star of Bordello of Blood to make a bad joke about vanity, I swear, it looks like they just got him in a room and gave him a list of terms, and there's no writing process. He's credited as a sole writer for that game, so that is Dennis Miller's That's Geek
There's
to
a
Me.
point at which it's not credited, and so it becomes blame.
That's true. There's worse things we can blame for him. So we have up next a clip that I just unearthed, so Cooking with Dom DeLuise. You'll never guess how he died, but these two are just some like little off-the-cuff jokes, and he lets you know it's a joke because he laughs at it after he tells it. I did you guys a favor, I got the non-racist ones, so I felt very uncomfortable just watching them alone, so I just got a few of the fun food computer riffs, and I believe the first one just shows you how into this whole idea he is.
I go like this, and I just knead the dough, and believe me, the only reason I'm doing this CD-ROM is because I needed the dough. Okay. That sounds great. Pizzas and computers go together real good because my computer is keeping my pizza warm.
I don't even get that.
Computers are very hot, Bob. Remember back in the days before laptops, they used to generate heat.
I guess so, but it's an inefficient pizza heating mechanism.
It is, but there was a clip from this making the rounds just a few days ago.
Yes,
where
that's...
he tried to use the CD-ROM tray to juice an orange.
The one I was thinking of is when he has a keyboard in front of them and he's mimicking every language, like French, and he mimics French. When he gets to some languages, it becomes less a joke about language and more a joke about the people that speak it. R.I.P. Dom DeLuise. He's the worst part of The Secret of Nim, by the way. So up next we have the Hulkster with Thunder in Paradise. If you were here earlier for the panel, you saw a bit of that. Now, I never watched Thunder in Paradise. It was a syndicated TV show. Basically, it was the real-life night boat. He had a crime-solving boat. It was really just a vehicle for Hulk Hogan, who was very popular at the time. Do we have any Thunder in Paradise viewers amongst us? Wow, they're admitting it. This panel is being filmed. But this is the interactive adventure version of Thunder in Paradise, in which you could just watch the, I believe, CDI footage of these episodes, or play bad shooting games between Hulk Hogan acting segments. Either way, it's excruciating, but I did pull some clips for you guys to show you the experience.
Thunder, activate shields. Shields activated.
Mr. Major isn't giving us much breathing room now, is he? Brother, we got 100 firestorms covering us from all directions.
Warning, detecting airborne drone technology. Trackers!
We got trackers! Trackers, aren't they,
Drone technology. The counter spies us send exact coordinates of your whereabouts back to the missiles.
Well, if that's the case, there's no way we can fire the missile and keep the drones at bay. You Neuralink me into the system. I can monitor, lock, and destroy incoming weaponry and give the drones a bad haircut.
This isn't a video game, Zach. Around here, game over has a whole other meaning.
I hate to say it, brother, but the kid's right. This may be our only chance.
Thunder, open external control channel.
Yes!
External control switch to manual baseline. Okay, kid. You're linked up to Thunder's weaponry. Show us your stuff.
Going to phase lock. Sync now.
Looks painful. And this is the gameplay. So what I want to know is, why is Hulk Hogan not the guy saying brother in that scene?
I think that was going to be in his contract.
I don't know. Maybe WWE had the license for brother. Somebody's nodding their head. I know they couldn't use Hulk. Or was Hulk Hogan's name in the opening credits?
Harry Hulk.
Hulk, okay, in quotes. But also the CDI was $700, right?
Yes.
Not for long. Not for very long. So now we're going to move on to some actor-focused blocks. So we have Tim Curry next, and we all love Tim Curry. He's great. I will say, to his credit, he was a man born to be a CD-ROM actor, because he only knows how to choose scenery. He can't exist with it. He's got to start eating it immediately. And this next game I've never heard of until doing research for this show. It's called Frankenstein Through the Eyes of the Monster, in which you are Frankenstein. And I think you just sort of meander around the Frankenstein's mansion while he pops up and mocks you. That's the best I could get out of this game by watching clips of it. But there's a few fun clips of Tim Curry just being Tim Curry is all hell in this next bit.
You can stand, and you're walking. No residual dizziness. Excellent. Can you hear me? Anything? Perhaps you can read lips. No. You must be able to hear. Perhaps the cat's got your tongue. You've no idea how close to the truth that statement is. I just hope, Philip, that you turn out better than the last experiment. The flesh grew so uncontrollably thick and twisted, like pork butt. You look confused. Actually, you look dazed, but dazed is good. It's still early for you, Philip.
Bye. Where's he going? I like how he can't really like move around because he's just like a video element within that weird pre-rendered area. So he just kind of pops up and does this like little puppet act and then goes away. But yeah, any thoughts on Tim Curry?
I mean, this is just a great opportunity for people to bring out their community theater scripts and finally get them broadcast.
It's so great. He's so good at this. I love Tim Curry, and thankfully he's doing well too. So knock on wood, Tim Curry, we love him. So the next clip is actually from the future, a year of 2007, and by 2007 we had moved on to FMV games. Sorry, we had moved on from FMV games. David Cage was just dreaming up his next FMV games that would exist and be very expensive, but at this time we were all looking back and laughing at FMV games. So of course, Command & Conquer: Red Alert 3 gets the master of CD-ROM acting, Tim Curry, to be in one of the most famous clips from this franchise. So I had to include this one even though it's extremely obvious.
Commander, you've rained on my glorious parade. For this, I'm sending everything I've got at you. But I won't let you have the satisfaction of catching me. I'm escaping. One place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Oh, he's so excited to say space.
It's the way that he almost cracks up and they didn't bother to do a second take. It really makes sense.
I'm reading that as part of his character. He's that good. It's part of his character. His character is just overjoyed with the idea of a land untouched by capitalism. And that's where I'm going to go when my student loans become overdue. I'm going to assume what he said is true in Command & Conquer 3. But yeah, that's Tim Curry, still doing well. So now we have what I like to call the it's come to this section, where people that once had credibility through whatever reasons, divorce, lawsuits, who knows why they are in these CD-ROM games. And the first one, it was something I didn't know about until doing research, was Dennis Hopper in The Black Dahlia. And he's not in a lot of this game, but I was surprised to just find out how obscure it was. So when you think of Dennis Hopper, you think an intense guy, you think like Frank Booth from Blue Velvet, you think King Koopa, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I think the head that pops up in Virtual Boy Waterworld.
That too, yeah.
Like, I saw a lot of that head earlier this year.
So the villain in Speed, famous for being intense villains and things, so let's have him in a game where he just sits down and is very sleepy. So here is a anti-Dennis Hopper performance in The Black Dahlia.
You must go there.
What for?
The Nazis have been in pursuit of the Dahlia for some time now. If Hitler were to get his hands on the gem, I mean, who knows what kind of suffering the world would see.
There's only one problem. The party's by invitation only. And all the invitations have this seal from this old order of knights.
The followers of Lando.
Yes, that's right. The invitation's no good without the seal.
I've seen documents on display at the Museum of Natural History with that very same seal. I'll bet Miss Strauss would be willing to help you out.
There we have it. Yes, he's acting like he just pulled something in his bag.
Was that actual live footage? Because it looked, maybe it's just the angle I'm at, but it looked like CG, like really kind of bad CG.
Oh, that's just Dennis Hopper late in life. He sort of has the Stan Lee clause in his contract at this point where he's like, he will not be standing or emoting. So that's Dennis Hopper, barely in The Black Dahlia. And so up next we have John Hurt. And another game that's become sort of semi-famous on the internet lately, Tender Loving Care. I've seen a lot of fun playthroughs of this game. It's barely a game, as far as I can tell. It's a game that makes the game part optional, and the non-optional parts, if you want to delve into them, are these like personality tests that John Hurt gives you. So it feels like it's a character sort of commenting on a soap opera he's watching, but he's so above this material. So obviously from Alien and also Spaceballs. Parodying the scene in Alien. What else has John Hurt been in?
That's all I care about.
Okay, so yeah, Alien and Spaceballs. And here is John Hurt talking about characters that we don't know anything about.
That was impressive. The way Catherine immediately seemed to penetrate Allison's shell and make contact. I have to admit that she gained more of Allison's confidence in a few minutes than I did in 6 months. Wonder what I was doing wrong. Maybe it's because she's a woman, though I prefer not to think in those terms. But God, she did look like an angel of mercy when she appeared in that white uniform, didn't she? But what about that performance at the window? It almost seemed as if she knew that Michael was out there. What do you think? I would trust the mental health of myself or a loved one to a psychiatrist.
All that was missing was him pointing at the camera. What do you think? Angela was pretty hot, wasn't she? Come on.
It really seems like just a sad old man kind of living on his own and talking to himself. What he saw on TV. It's very grim.
Grandpa John's doing it again. I don't know who Angela is. He just keeps talking about her. So yes, poor John Hurt. He's done better things, but so this is definitely going to be. I saved some of the best stuff for last, and up next we have Christopher Walken in the great video game Ripper, the CD-ROM game from 1996. I'm glad you guys stuck around for this. It's some of the best stuff, and it is what I think is Christopher Walken doing his best Christopher Walken impression, because you've never seen so much punctuation in one sentence. The way linguistically he intonates is always surprising, and it's a delight, even though he clearly does not care, and he is with a very awkward actor in these scenes. So here is my favorite scenes from Ripper. I just cut them all together in this little mini compilation.
Same MO as the others? You got it. Look around you, asshole. If anything, this is more gruesome than the other two. Hell of a lot more splatter. Who's the victim? Name's Stein. Renee Stein. Age 43. Book editor over at Knopf.
Any connection to the other two?
Well, let's see. Estevez was a programmer. Mendler a dry cleaner. It'll take me 48 hours to run it down, but there's no connection here.
Any clues?
No sign of forced entry. Nothing's disturbed. 2 sets of prints. Hers and her mother's. The only thing not where it should be is this woman's insides.
Well, what about witnesses? I mean, this guy must have been a bloody mess, even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's Greenwich Village. Somebody must have seen him.
As far as I know, he left us with 1 witness, and she's feeling a little fragmented at the moment. This guy is unfucking believable.
I wouldn't hold out on you.
Of course not. You've been very good about sharing what you know with me and several million other people. I should have busted you when you ran that press letter without letting us know about it. All right, visiting hour's over. There's nothing here you haven't seen at the other murder sites except a few extra gallons of body fluids.
Well, you shouldn't be touching anything, should you, Magnata?
I guess this case has me rattled.
So good.
I don't think I've seen someone act with their hands that much since the last Harrison Ford movie I saw.
It's so good. It's so good. I mean, I think William Shatner needs to learn from him in that you don't take one deep breath before you speak. You take several breaths as you're speaking.
Like a machine gun.
Yeah. But I love the weird reading. Body fluids. I couldn't even do it because you want to say it like a human. Body fluids. That is Christopher Walken in Ripper. There's a really great article online about the making of Ripper. It was a game that was made. This is not a fever dream you're experiencing that we're all experiencing together. So yes, these. Oh, go ahead.
Do you know anything about some of the people who are playing opposite these like well-known celebrities? Is it that they spent all their budget on having the one known actor and they just had to go find some guys in a broom closet? Or is it that the people who made these movies then cast themselves just as an opportunity to act across their favorite celebrities?
Yeah, I don't know the story of the actor in this one. I just feel like you're right. They got the one get somehow, and then it was all just like finding.
Find us someone who looks vaguely like Ryan Gosling.
Oh god. Yeah, it's true. But yes, Ripper, don't play it. Watch the Let's Plays of it, really fun. So for the finale, we have Jeff Goldblum. He's great, and also very interesting acting style, very Walken-y in his own way. So he does like a special cameo in the Goosebumps game, Escape from Horrorland. Has anyone actually played this as a kid to get to the Goldblum ending? Oh, a few people. Okay, cool. Yeah, surprisingly, he plays Dracula, not trying very hard but having fun and speaking very poorly through fake teeth. So here is Jeff Goldblum. Actually, he's being kind of creepy in this, so this might make you think of him in a different light, but he wants to dance with a little girl, so Dracula does these things. It's okay.
That's what I have. That pathetic
Don thinks he runs his place, but that's just because that's what I allow him to think. See? And listen. You're not gonna dance. Wait a minute. We're gonna dance. Lizzie.
And that's the death of Jeff Goldblum. It's funny, we had Dennis Hopper in this clip package. That first scene is like a David Lynch film.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I actually saw Jeff Goldblum act. Usually he's just like, hey, I'm Jeff Goldblum. I'm in this movie and being myself.
He'll be doing a lot of that in our final clip. So to say goodbye to all of you, we have Jeff Goldblum coming up with a strong anti-gamer American stance. So if you beat this video game, he's going to tell you what he thinks about video gamers. Number one, they smell bad. They don't leave their houses. They don't get along with the opposite sex, as he says. It's a very insulting clip. He was clearly just pulled away on the filming of The Lost World and saying, oh, you agreed to do this for us, Jeff, so please record some impromptu stuff. So you can see him sort of improv his way through this ending of The Lost World for PlayStation, but this is your ultimate reward, is a millionaire making fun of you for beating your bad PlayStation game. So this will be our final clip for today. It's Lost World, Jeff Goldblum.
Hello. If you can hear me, congratulations. Way to go. You made it through. You spent all that time, and now you're done. You did. That's quite an achievement. My gosh, you looked a 20-foot carnivore right in the eye, and you lived to tell about it. Well, you are something. Thank you for sticking with it, for not giving up. That is really something. Now you know what you should do? Turn the thing off, for heaven's sakes, and go outside. Breathe the air, take a walk, call a member of the opposite sex. You know what I'm talking about. You have a whole life out there. Get the stink blown off you. Just go. Go, really. Turn on. You. I mean, really. Okay. Hello. Okay, I go.
He's being attacked by a giant gamer. I feel awful after watching that.
I believe it's called Gamera.
Gamera. Yes, he said, get the stink blown off of you. So, yes, ultimately, that is... I feel like if I was on a plane and Jeff Goldblum was on the plane, I would hide my Switch. Because I feel like he would say something very patronizing to me. But I don't want to ask you, Jeremy, what is your favorite? We got a few minutes to wrap up here. So what is your favorite clip of the night?
Oh, man. So many good ones. The surprise twist ending in the first Jeff Goldblum clip is really like the small girl zapping him with lasers or whatever that was. I didn't expect it to go that way.
And briefly, he looks like he has the sun in his eyes. It's just like,
I actually don't know what was happening there, but it's just not the direction I thought that was going to go. He's menacing a small child, and then she's zapping him.
I think, unfortunately, mine is the obvious choice, and that is, Christopher Walken, yes. It wasn't so obvious to my brain at the moment, but I did enjoy watching everyone's reaction to hearing Bobcat Goldthwait give his play-by-play commentary to the golf game. So, yes, thank all of you for coming out this late to the Retronauts panel. I really appreciate it. It's a late panel this year, and no children are in this room. So there was one swear word said, and we got away with it. But yes, please check us out at retronauts.com. Is anybody new to what we do at all in this room? It's okay to raise your hand. Oh, one person. You're cool. Yes, please check us out at retronauts.com, but you know where. But please, thanks, and have a great rest of the convention, and we will see you around on Sunday, maybe. Bye-bye.